this is what we did. We ate fucking hot dogs and mac and cheese the night we moved in.
Are you trying to get Ferg turned on? What are you doing right now?
Too late.
This is why we didn't record in person. It would just turn into an orgy every time.
Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about Hank. Hank went 10 episodes with only one season on ABC. Today we're talking about episode 1, which was called Pilot, originally airing September 30th, 2009. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me as always, the boys, all of them, Joe, Ferg, Nick, and Gordo. What's going on, guys?
Heyo.
Hey.
Hello.
Awesome Gordo.
Yes.
Guys, they were going to call this show Awesome Hank. What a fucking terrible
Based
idea
on
that
like
would
a
have been.
one-off joke that
In the pilot.
Oh, I thought they were going to call it Unfunny Schitt's Creek.
Yes, thank you.
This is literally just, in my notes I wrote, if you wrote straight down to where they try to fit they like bring the giant painting over, I was like, this is just if you did Schitt's Creek with no comedy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Schitt's Creek stole it from them.
Yeah.
Technically it is later. And the only thing that is good about this that is not good about Schitt's Creek is David Koechner, who poor David Koechner sometimes just can't catch a fucking break. The funniest human ever. And he's like, I guess we'll just be in another show that gets canceled after 5 episodes.
I don't know. He was great as Todd Packer.
I'm not in that. I don't think the show is terrible. We're going to obviously talk about it as we go along, but I don't think the show is like that shitty. Although I'll say one thing I read about the show is Kelsey Grammer seemed to think it was shitty. According to him, he's the one who canceled the show. He's like, this isn't working. And like basically just ended
Listen, you know what though? If anybody on this planet knows when a sitcom is working, it's Kelsey Grammer. He's been on some of the longest running sitcoms in sitcom history. He knows when it works.
But also, you can't go by the metric of like, this show isn't as good as Frasier and Cheers. We might have to cancel this one after 5 episodes.
That's true.
The new Frasier still going?
No, they got like 2 seasons and it got
Yeah,
pulled.
I think it stopped after the 2nd season. It was good though.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Then I just stopped watching it and forgot about it.
I didn't watch original Frasier, so I probably watched that first.
You should. We binged that a couple years ago because it's one of those shows I think we talked about when we covered it. As a kid, that show seemed like it was the most boring show in the world. But at 40, you're like, this is delightful. This actually works.
No, I mean, I've seen plenty of episodes of it. I've never liked it. Watched through it. I don't have anything against it.
Also, this show, I said 10 episodes, but only 5 made it to air. The other 5 eventually in like UK syndication and stuff.
This show literally lasted for 35 days.
Yeah, I mean, I know it happens all the time. It's just one of those things that it's like weird to record episodes and to just be like, nah. Like, I mean, you got to figure like, isn't it better than reruns? But when they're already made.
I wonder if it's like a write-off if they don't air them.
I think that's definitely part of it. It's some sort of financial gain to just sever it, because then like you're probably talking more residuals need to be paid, etc., stuff like that. Whereas if they just cut it off, they can cut their losses too.
I think it is actually an insurance claim.
Well, don't forget too for Kelsey Grammer, who got a astronomical amount of money twice. One when Cheers went into syndication, and one when Frasier went into syndication. Doesn't really need the money per se. And I think part of the reason he didn't want to do this is he was like, it wasn't funny and the drive was too long. Like, he literally was just like, I don't want to have to commute to work for this work to suck, which is commendable in a weird way. But like, I don't know, man. You feel like you're rich enough that you can be like, get a driver and like read a book in the backseat.
This kind of sucks for him because he's so typecast now. Like, he can't play anything other than Frasier or Beast.
Which is weird because those are 2 very different characters. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Hank McCoy is a lot like Frasier.
Well, I guess when he's not Beast, I guess that's true. Well, technically, he also can play a murderous rake standing on villain in The Simpsons as well. No, I'm supposed to drive through the cactuses.
But it's like, that's what took me out of this show is like, I just see Frasier trying to act like a normal person.
I don't think he's trying to act like a normal person. If anything, I feel like he's just acting the same as he would as if this was Frasier.
Yeah, he's just Frasier which is just Kelsey Grammer.
It's weird too that they're like, let's go back to Virginia, and they're doing this whole thing where it's like rural Virginia, and then Kelsey Grammer has that weird like fake mid-Atlantic accent. You're like, you're not from Virginia.
Yeah.
So a couple numbers to go over real quick. 4.3 IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, critic score 11, no audience score. If you want to watch this show, it is available on YouTube. And then also, just to mention it, this was my pick. And the only I've never seen it. The only reason I picked it was because of it being a sitcom I found that had Kelsey Grammer and David Koechner, and I was like, that's more than enough for me to want to watch it. So,
Not enough David Koechner.
Yeah, that's the problem. I feel like if spinoff, this kept going for a little while, and we spin off into Koechner and his weird kids and his like work crew, better show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess with all that in mind, might as well just jump right into the episode itself. First scene, we see some exterior shots of New York, and that's when we cut to Hank Pryor, which is Kelsey Grammer's character, and he's like walking outside of his luxury high-rise apartment building with his wife Tilly and their two kids, Maddie and Henry.
Tilly.
And we can see like a moving truck out front, and we're finding out in this time that they're moving out of the apartment. Whatever reason, we don't really know what's going on yet, but it seems as if they don't really want it to be seen that they're moving out. And he goes, oh, don't worry, like no one will see us, just keep it moving. And then like you mentioned earlier, you see the giant family portrait being loaded into the truck right after that.
It's a weird move, by the way. Even if I was a billionaire, if someone was like, do you want a wall-sized family painting? I'd be like, no. The only wall-sized painting I want is Vigo the Carpathian. That is the only time I'd ever want a painting that big in my home.
Oh, I'd want a giant Ferg painting.
You want a giant Gordo.
Isn't there, I mean, like, I know we've talked about there's a giant Linda McMahon painting in Vince's house, but wasn't there also a giant Vince painting, too?
Yeah, it was like, it was like a weird one, too. I forget.
I have a big giant painting of me. Actually, it's a pencil sketch.
How big is Big Giant?
How and who did it?
An artist on the street somewhere. I forget where I got it.
Did you get...
I forget where an artist on the street drew a big giant pencil sketch of me. It does not seem like something that makes sense to me at all. I feel like you'd remember that story.
He went to a caricature artist and got it on like the
like, I'm not big and
boardwalk.
giant. My head is, though, in the drawing.
Do you
I
want me to get nude? We're outside, sir.
Can you draw a doodle?
No, this is long before the doodle.
Oh, I missed you.
How big is the picture, though? You classified this as big/giant, and I really want to know the dimensions of what these street artists painted.
No,
by
it was like 36 by 18, something like that.
Guy on the streets just drawing poster-sized photos of people.
3-foot poster-sized pictures of Gordo.
I have it. It's somewhere. I can show you pictures.
I would like to see proof of this. Yeah, that aren't AI. Thank you.
No. It's not AI. No. I can actually prove that I have that.
He went into the Chuck E. Cheese picture booth that does the drawing one.
Oh, yeah.
I have a nice old photo of me and Gordo at one of those booths, like got drawn by Leonardo. That you get it at the mall.
Yep.
Part of this moving situation, we have Hank talking to the door guy, and he's saying like, "Hey, Mr. Pryor, just I heard what happened in the paper. Sorry about you losing everything." So, we don't have all the context yet, but at this point, from what we're getting, they're moving to Virginia. Something happened where basically he lost his livelihood, and like here they are.
We find out later too. It's sporting goods stores, and I feel like this is like you're allowed to have. I mean, it's wild, right? Because Bass Pro Shops is pretty big, and Cabela's is like huge. Like Cabela's are like the size of a mall. It's wild that they have survived this, right? Because we had the same gripe when we watched that Tim Allen show where he's the last man standing or whatever.
Well, there's room for that because, like, I think when you talk about like sporting goods stores and stuff, these are like some of the few things that inherently are done by people outside and who are going outside. So you might they're more inclined to go out and go shopping in a more conventional sense,
Sure. I'm just saying we're past the point, I think, where you could have a new one that has 170 locations at this point.
No.
I don't know. I'm sure they're all much bigger in the South.
I will say this, though. Bass Pro Shops does have a recliner for $300 that is completely camo.
Cool.
In case anybody looking to get
I would, but I'd be afraid that I wouldn't be able to see it and I would sit on the floor by accident.
Can you choose the camo? Can you get digi camo? My favorite camo of all time. In case I'm hiding in the internet, the bad guys won't see me.
I don't know. I don't know if you can.
Oh no, Ghost Rider's here. So,
Like, not the first time we've referenced Ghost Rider on this show, but it's been a long time.
so Hank's talking to his wife Tilly. This is when we get a little bit more context about how he was basically removed from his own company by the board of directors. I'll tell you, this was like one thing I did not like. Like, for all the things that bother me in this show, for whatever reason, this little line is when she's like, "Oh, bastards, unanimous bastards." I thought, like, for whatever reason, the unanimous part of that joke I thought was so forced and so like unnatural.
Devil's Advocate, I actually laughed at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we just real quick maybe get out of the way? This is maybe one of the worst supporting casts I've ever seen in a sitcom, with exception to Keckner.
Most of the people on the show did pretty well outside of the show, though.
Yeah, I don't think they were bad. I just think the show is bad.
I was like too distracted to notice the acting because I was getting really mad at the family for being so mean to him because he's just trying his best.
Yeah, but we'll get into it. He also seems like he wasn't the best either. You know what I mean? So like,
Well, he wasn't there for years,
Yeah.
it seems like, right? So they have a gripe for sure.
We're learning that, well, yeah, this family was wealthy. They had maids and they had people helping raise the kids and do everything. They didn't,
Yeah, because of him.
sure, financially, but there's always the argument of like having other people raise your kids for you versus you doing it. Like, they might have been cared for, but the connection is not the same if you're not physically involved in your children's upbringing. So they all live together, but he definitely was buried in work. And then for whatever reason, they never really get into in this episode. And I would have liked to have known a little bit more about like why he got taken out of the company.
I mean, you can kind of imply it.
That's what happened to Norman Osborn in the first Spider-Man movie. Then he came back
Yeah,
and killed
totally.
them all. Killed the boy.
Storm and Norman, what they called him.
I built this. You can't fire me. I built this company. You just need that.
I cannot take Gordo seriously because he's got like a wider camera angle now too for some reason. So he's like sitting back, and he's got like fucking like Temu Bret Hart glasses on.
Yeah, you guys won't be able. I mean, we'll eventually post clips. S1E1 pod. There's always a couple clips from every episode. So if you go on our Instagram, whatever, for whatever reason, Gordo's in the same place he always sits for every episode. But right now, it looks like he's in a hostage video.
You look like a pedophile.
Gordo looks like he quit the show a month ago and we had to recast him. So we've been like finding a new actor to like grow out a beard like Gordo. And that's why he's sitting super far back from the cameras. He's like not super in focus.
It just turns out that actor.
I thought I would be more casual.
I want to see your dilated eyeballs.
You really?
I didn't realize that you weren't wearing sunglasses, and now that I know
When he pulled those out, I was surprised.
that
Yeah.
it's just a sheet of fake sunglasses tucked under your real glasses.
I did. I thought he had big sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he bought from like the drugstore. He got some like blue blockers on his way home.
So there's a part of this moving scene where like the mattress goes by where they're loading it into the truck, and he's like, "Oh, look at that! Had many exciting evenings on that old girl." Well, not lately, but still.
Is there anybody else grossed out by the idea of Kelsey Grammer having sex?
More so on a fire truck bed, but
It would be so proper.
It was like a guttural response from me during the episode. I was like, ugh. Like, just that idea is so weird.
I think
to
Ferg's right. He would be too. I am
Yes.
in you now.
me. Yeah.
Oh, like in what was that show? The Toast of London. That's how I picture it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could see. Yeah. Yep.
does anybody else think it's weird that he's like a rich fancy guy and they're moving just his mattress without a mattress cover or anything onto just a...
They have a plastic sheet.
Yeah, there was a plastic sheet on
Was
it.
there a
yeah.
plastic sheet? I don't think I noticed that
I
either.
didn't notice that. To be fair, I was watching the Daily Motion video, which was slightly less, I'm sure, high resolution than the version you had on the drive.
The one we had wasn't perfect, but it's probably better than the one you watched. And then he's looking over, he's like, "Hey, who's that over there with Madeline?" "Oh, that's Spencer." Spencer. And you just like cut over and you just see your daughter like making out with some dude up against the wall.
Well, don't say some dude. It was a kid her age. It sounds way weirder when you're like, and his daughter's making out with some dude up against the wall in New York.
There's an age limit on dude. I didn't know dude was for like 30 plus.
Dude is, when you're talking about a child, dude is an adult or a cowboy. Either way, it's not.
We said dude all the time when we were kids.
Yeah, but I was like, only Norm Macdonald can say, who's that dude? Like, if you say dude, it's an adult.
No, when it comes, I'm a dude. He's a dude.
Oh,
she's
God.
a dude. We're all dudes.
We're all dudes.
True.
The son, Henry, you see him like running up and down the ramp that loads the truck. It's like, oh, Henry, watch out, that's dangerous. And he goes, exciting I am. Undertaking a grand adventure we are. Why is the boy talking like that? It's Yoda, Hank. Yoda's his hero. What? The Kung Fu Frog from Star Wars is his hero? That line got me.
It got me too, because I think that's super funny to call Yoda a Kung Fu Frog.
Yeah, the Kung Fu Frog was funny.
This is funny too, because I do appreciate this is post that Baby Yoda show, or pre rather, and like post sort of, pre probably the bigger new Star Wars movies too, right? Like this is like a little kid who's like super into old Star Wars and he loves Yoda. It's just like a very specific thing for a kid that age.
No, if he was into old Star Wars, it wouldn't be Kung Fu Frog because he doesn't move.
Yeah, he doesn't move. He moves in the second one in
But yeah, no, the
Clone Wars.
The 1, 2, and 3 had come out by now.
And he was a Kung Fu Frog by then, to the art of CGI.
And I think the Clone Wars TV show.
Was that a thing at this point?
I don't know.
This is 2006, right?
Yeah, Clone Wars TV show came before the Clone Wars.
The movie, really?
There was original cartoon one, and then the CGI one I think came after.
What about Clone High?
I want to cover that.
I'd say Clone High is better than anything Star Wars ever did.
Oh, shut up.
Don't piss off the Star Wars fans.
One of the few ones I like. Stop.
Not everything can be as good as Derry Girls and Florida Girls and all the other girly shows you like. New Girl, all of them.
Do not like New Girl. Do not spread those lies about me, thank you. Even though there is a cast photo of me with New Girl, I do not enjoy that show.
Joe's just bitter that Stumble got canceled, all right?
I am so fucking bitter that Stumble got canceled. I'm mad at every show that gets a second season for the rest of my life.
Told you Reggie Jenkins is better.
It's not better. It's an awful show with funny people in it.
You greenlit it. Anyways,
Because I love Bobby Moynihan.
So at this point, Hank's trying to be positive. You know, the situation's not ideal. He's like, maybe in a way this is good for us. We're blessed. If we weren't us, I'd wish we were. And then the car shows up and it's time for them to head off. And he walks over to say goodbye to his maid, Consuela. He goes, Consuela, arrivederci. You know, because not Spanish.
I do like, though, that he is so dismissive in the way he leaves after saying that. Like, you can tell he has zero connection or care for this woman, which I found very kind of funny. Like, he goes out of his way to say goodbye to her, but does not give a fuck at all.
That leads us to like the intro. The intro is very simple. It's fine for what it is. You just see like Hank standing in front of a like board of directors inside of an office, and then like the background peels back and all the people walk away, and then the background changes to like a house setting, and his family walks up with like a handwritten sign that says Hank. It's fine.
Do we think they flew or they drive in this car? Because the truck is taking their stuff, obviously, but New York to Virginia is like a super short flight, but it's only like a 6-hour drive, right? I've done that drive before. It's not that long.
6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
Depends how broke they are. He does mention in the beginning of like that opening scene that he basically lost his savings, which I wish they explained that part of it, because I can see him losing his job, but theoretically, when you like are exited from like a gigantic company like that,
you get a
some
parachute.
sort of severance and you have a savings.
Maybe it was all in stock and stock went up.
Realistically, they just didn't bother to think about it or write a backstory.
No, but Gordo's right. It was probably he had a lot of stock and something he did that we don't know yet tanked the company, which killed the stock, and that's why they got rid of him.
But the company still stands, you know.
A CEO of a company with 170 stores is making like $1 million a year, no matter what, right? So like, unless he was terrible with his money, he should have some money.
I mean, he had enough to buy a giant house in Virginia.
We needed a little more exposition in the first scene to make this make sense, you know, other than just them casually being like, oh, you got fired from your company.
I will say, though, don't forget 2006 is like a very interesting real estate time compared to now, where a giant house in Virginia like that was probably like $150,000. That house now would be like 450 grand. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a different.
There's a theory about this show as well that part of the reason it didn't work was this was at a time where there was a lot of big financial issues with like big companies like this, and the idea of a guy who was a CEO who was out of work is not like sympathetic enough for the common person to be like, oh, here's a story I can relate to.
Yeah, like if you're watching like fucking Enron on TV and you're watching all these bankers and all these fucking big CEOs get these $1 billion parachutes and walk away and you're like, oh, I feel bad for this guy who has to go talk to his kids now. You're like, fuck this show. Fuck this family.
So now next scene, we have Hank and Tilly and they're arriving in front of their new house in Virginia. And he's like, oh, this is lovely. Trees, grass. Like we're living in Central Park. And then she's like, which was our other option.
Which means that they still have money.
No, I think it meant they were going to live in the park, not live at Central Park. Yeah.
Not they're going to live off of Central Park West in a beautiful apartment.
No, it was they were going to live in the park like the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2.
Fraser!
Gotcha.
Man.
Run, Fraser, run!
Kevin.
They just eat birdseed all day.
Ah, turtle doves.
Not much better in here, kid.
So, two head inside the new house, and the house is, it's empty, and it's like, it's a little messy, but the way they like made it out to be,
Oh my god, there's an oven in the middle. This place is a piece of shit.
maybe it's like just because I'm not as financially stable as they once were, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's an empty house that they have to like fix up a little bit.
You have to move the oven back into the kitchen. That'll take 2 people. They're made out of fucking sheet metal. This will not be a huge deal.
The crowd laughter here was hard.
And you know what it was too? Like, to me, it was like the best I can compare it to is when we saw a similar situation in Just the 10 of Us, only that house was clearly like, it needed a lot more.
Yeah, that was more like dilapidated.
Things are boarded up. There's cobwebs everywhere. This was just like, there's an oven in the middle and there's some stains on the wall from where art was. And like someone,
They put some paper on the ground. Like,
yeah.
there was no effort in trashing this place.
Like, you think of the house in, like, Revenge of the Nerds or something, right? Like, that is a trashed house.
Joe, I'm so glad you brought up Revenge of the Nerds because this looks just like the house.
And because Ogre already died and we can't jinx him.
Aw. Yeah, that's...
I know, it's sad.
R.I.P.
But he's with Lewis in heaven now.
Oh, I know, because Lewis just died, too, yeah.
I know. There's a funny meme of Lewis like, finally, I'm like safe. And then like you have, it's like the Undertaker behind AJ Styles meme. But
Nerds!
Ogre, you asshole.
But yeah, so I thought this was one of those situations where, yeah, they could have did a little bit better of a job directly comparing because I think they're very similar scenes in a lot of ways. So the house just didn't look bad enough, but he's stunned. He's like, this is exactly what we needed to simplify, to get back to basics. No more long walks to the kitchen. The kitchen's right here. And you know,
that was my first laugh.
That was funny, too. At least he's trying to make the best of it, right?
And then he's talking about like, we never knew our old neighbors in New York, but here in Riverbend. And then like they walk up and like open up some double doors at the side of the house. Like, look, there he is right there. Hello. Seems like a cheery fellow. Maybe later he'll bring us a pie. Then we can bring him a shirt.
They needed to do the coming to America joke. Like, fuck you.
Yes, fuck you, too. Now, would you guys be happy or sad if there was actually a working kitchen in your living room? Like a working stove, rather.
A full stove? That would be kind of weird. I don't know if I need all
it'd be
that.
straight weird, but
You could cook dinner while watching TV.
I would have the movers that are bringing all their stuff in move it into the next room.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's usually typically a, like... Well, I guess even electric stove, yeah. There's probably not, like, gas line.
I mean, I guess if you want to put like a hot plate or something in your living room, you could go about things that way.
In reality, why would that be there? Did someone try to steal it and then give up?
Well, no, I think somebody was probably like renovating the kitchen, so they moved the stove out into the living room.
Yeah, like remodeling.
Yeah, they might have to redo the floor and you have to get everything out. Yeah. Tilly mentions, oh, by the way, my brother is going to be dropping by later. Like, oh, yeah, probably eager to welcome us back to his tax bracket. And then at that point, Henry walks in from the kitchen, which I was like, how did he get in the kitchen? We never saw him walk in the house. How did he come in from the kitchen? They just unlocked the front door. It's one of those like, no, you know, if you don't think about it, but they unlock the front door, walk in, and yet somehow the son's already in the house in the kitchen.
Magic Yoda, he did. See, I could do Star Wars.
First thing, Henry says, Virginia's awesome. I can't wait to go to the bathroom here. Hank's like, yes, I imagine that's one of those activities we'll all enjoy.
That
I
got me.
don't know why I thought that was funny, but I did.
It does seem like a genuine Gordo quote. You end up in a random city. He's like, I can't wait to go to the bathroom here. You're like, okay, well, we're going to go to a restaurant or something. Maybe a museum.
This, I think, aids to when we're talking about earlier about maybe Hank's disconnect from the family. And Tilly's saying like, oh, like, why don't you head out to the backyard and later, you know, maybe you and your dad can throw a baseball. At what? He walks off, and now we got Maddie walking from the front door. And she's like talking about how it's like a horror film in there. But at least in a horror film, the pretty girl dies. She's like, look, even the stove is trying to make a run for it. They thought the stove placement was huge, right? They wrote a lot of jokes around the stove.
This writer's room really honed in on the fucking stove that day, right? They're just like, keep going.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a stove in the living room. Why wouldn't you poke fun at that?
Also, the pretty girl doesn't always die in the horror movies. Have they never heard of a scream queen?
Oh, a what?
Scream queen.
Oh, I think you said squeam.
Yeah, I fucking
Ooh, I get squeamish around murder.
It's Freddie Mercury in a wig. I get squeamish around murder. Oh, it's the Scream Queen.
Oh, there we go. There's a t-shirt idea.
Freddie Mercury's the Scream Queen. To be fair, that might actually be bought by people not listening to the podcast. That might actually generate some buys.
So, Hank's telling his daughter, hey, why don't you give it a chance? I think soon you'll be saying what your mother and I are saying. Yes, we can. Like, you can't use that. That's Obama's thing. Oh, he owns those words, does he? You know, my high school baseball team had the same slogan on our run-up to the state finals. Yes, we can. Ultimately, of course, we couldn't, but not because of me. I hit for 500 in the series. He's like, wow, that's such a great story, Dad. Tell it again.
Hitting for 500, though, is pretty impressive.
It is very
it
impressive.
is.
Yeah.
That said, though, this is, again, one of those things that ages the show because, like, if you remember, like, the Obama print, like, is it Shepherd Ferry or whatever, like, all that stuff was the Hope was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, referencing this and then making a callback to it again later, I just feels like, again, like, you can mention where you're at, but sometimes something just dates it, and you're not going to know, probably, but that felt like it dated this. The same way, I think, if we were watching a show 10 years or 15 years from now, and they were like, I got my gold Trump phone, you'd be like, ugh, just...
We get it, Joe. Obama's not your president. You say it all the time.
I'm a diehard Trump man. No, I'm a Biden guy. I thought he was really smart, really capable, super young, good for the country.
Very sleepy, but good.
Wake up, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, wake up.
Was the last good president, would that have been Jimmy Carter? He's just a nice nut farmer. Everybody liked
Washington,
him at least.
maybe.
George Washington.
Some would call me a nut farmer, too.
This podcast bipartisan, by the way. So,
Yeah, I think by us going back and saying the only good president was George Washington, it cuts a wide enough swath that you're really eliminating everybody. Well, what about me? Okay, Reagan.
Nothing about the nut farmer, huh?
No, we purposely ignored that, Gordo. Welcome back. It's been a while, I know.
I know you've been gone for a month. We're not going to just start laughing at your jokes for shits and giggles.
Listen, the people were messaging me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, did you say a nut farmer joke? I guess I didn't hear it.
Are you farming for others' nuts?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, D's nuts.
Oh.
Good one, Jay.
Oh, man, I love D's nuts jokes.
Is that the 67th one that you did?
Moving right along. So he goes, fine. You don't want me to say yes, we can? I'll do the president one better. I say, yes, we will. It is one better.
Or you could say, I can, I will, I must, like Stumble, a far superior TV show.
Oh, yeah? Is it?
No, it only got one season.
Yeah, it's about equal, according to TV.
Well, this didn't get a full season, so I guess Stumble wins.
That's true, yeah.
So she runs up, she's like, oh, because you could be better than the president. Like, I could have been president. She's like, yeah, right. And runs up the stairs. And then he goes like, he chases her and like yells up the stairs. This is America, young lady. A rich white man has just as much chance of being the president as anyone else.
That's a funny line.
That is funny.
I got a little titter out of that one.
Right after that, he walks into the kitchen and goes to open the fridge, and there's clearly nothing inside. He goes, Consuela! Oh, right. This is one of those things. I know we're not all going to be on the same page with this show. I'll say, like, one of the reasons that drove me to pick this show was like, oh, Kelsey Grammer. I like Kelsey Grammer. I think he's funny. So whether or not he's just basically playing Frasier again, I like that character enough, and I'm so entertained by him that like it makes me enjoy this more than if you placed someone else in this role.
Oh my god, if there was just like a random actor in this role, this would be an abysmal show.
I could see how replacing him would make it truly unwatchable, but I do think that he is quite...
He is the saving grace for this show.
Devil's advocate,
100%.
though. Kelsey Grammer is good in this, and he's very good in this. He's always funny. He's Kelsey Grammer, right? And everything else about this is bad, except for Keckner. But what if you put somebody in it who was bad? I think it might make the show more enjoyable in a That's Mama's Guitar type of way. Like, imagine if Kelsey Grammer was Scott Baio, right? This show would be the funniest fucking show ever in that scenario. Like, you should put somebody else, Dave Coulier, and fucking his stupid puppet in Kelsey Grammer's role. The show would be so bad. It would be better than this.
Yeah. Doesn't this show... It's funny you bring those two actors up, Joe, because doesn't this show, even though it's from 2009, feel more like 1989?
Yeah, this feels very much like it could have been a one-and-done show on TGIF.
Like maybe it was written back then and didn't come to light until 20 years later or something like that, because the plot just feels like really old.
It was just somebody's passion project. They hung on to it until someone said yes.
They got really excited when they got Kelsey Grammer to sign on, and then 5 episodes in, they were like, fuck this.
I'll say this. I tried really hard to like look up information on this show, and there's not a lot out there, right? It just didn't last very long. It was in and out. But one of the big critiques of this show, and one of the theories as to why a show like this didn't work, was this show came out right at the boom of a lot of big single camera comedies. And this was just the old multicam, which we're starting to see some multicams pop back up and be successful again. But they were so out of style at this point in time. This is like The Office is still running. Modern Family just started up. You know, you have your Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec, Community.
So it's just no one wants this style of show right now. It's not fashionable.
Yeah, but it's also a terrible show. I don't think you can blame those other shows.
I don't know if I know I'm of the minority here. I don't think it's terrible. I think it could use work for sure. I don't know if I would say it's a terrible show, but yeah, I do think if this was in a different time frame and like considering the scope of when it came out, certainly didn't help it.
I will say though, this would have been worse as a single camera, because every time they try to do that with somebody who's like the sort of older guard classic comedy actor, it always fails so quick. Remember the Paul Reiser show? We had to cover that sometime. That was like a right after Parks and Rec show for like half a season that maybe made it 3 episodes. I think that actually lasted less than this did. That was trying to basically do Paul Reiser as Curb, and it fucking did not work. We're like, I feel like you couldn't put Kelsey Grammer in that role.
I'll tell you what I don't think worked was this next line that comes up here is, so his wife enters the kitchen after his whole Consuelo thing. And she's like, hey, since you're going to be spending time around the kids for once, like, let me give you some advice. Like, all right, go ahead. It's like, well, for example, with Maddie, whenever I say anything to her, I don't ask myself, how is Maddie going to react? I ask myself, how is Moody going to react? Trust me, Moody, Maddie, Hyper, Henry. And he like puts it in, I did think it was funny when he's like entering it into his phone, like that was that complicated. But I don't get it. Like this whole thing with like, remember, she's Moody and your other son's Hyper. What does that mean? So what? Like that, those are just casual observations. And they try to call back to it later for the joke. And like, it was a little bit of payoff there, but I don't understand any of this setup and how this is supposed to help him parent.
I think it's one of those cases where they wrote the joke first and then they tried to write around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought in general, this was like a whole, it just made no sense. Like, hey, I have some parenting advice. Moody, Maddie, Hyper, Henry. It's like, okay, what do I do with that information? What does that mean?
It's like, oh, thank you for the alliteration. What do I do? Yeah.
It means you don't give Henry sugar and you don't poke Maddie.
Your advice, Gordo, is don't poke moody people. Like, don't give hyperactive people sugar, but like, makes sense. And if you meet a moody person, don't poke them. Don't wake daddy, that hat will come flying off.
Have you ever poked a moody person?
I typically don't poke people, no.
Well, don't do it.
Like a Facebook poke?
Is that still a thing?
It's
No.
still a thing. No one uses it.
Is
It still technically exists on the platform.
Where? I want to poke people.
To be fair, I don't have Facebook. I don't understand how it works, but I'm guessing, remembering from this, it's like you poke someone just to be like, hey, I'm thinking about you, or like, hey, remember this, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it would just say you got poked by Joe.
I go back to my first world conversation earlier where like this person said they shipped my thing a week ago and it hasn't moved. Like that's what poking should be for. It should be on sales platforms. You can be like, hey, I don't want to have to email you and be like, hey, are you going to drop this thing off? But like you poke someone, just be like, hey.
It was early internet. Well, not early internet, but early social media. It was just like a feature. And I think it was like intended to be somewhat flirty, but then you'd get like poked by
Nana poked you.
like, oh, the guy at work poked me. He's like, cause he's just like, he doesn't know how the internet works.
Hey, I was thinking about you. Thank you, Greg.
It's always Greg.
It's always a Greg.
He's a big poker.
He's a Pokemon.
Hank's asking his wife, so any secret nicknames for dealing with me? And she goes, Awesome Hank. Ooh, Awesome Hank.
Did we guess it's Horrible Hank?
Now, that would be a good name for a television show.
No, it should be Hanky Panky.
Ooh, well, then we find out that later for sure. Also, Gordy, you reminded me, the other name for the show was supposed to be The Pryors. And then imagine this show would be so much better, Nick, to your point, if it's 1989
With
and
Richard
it's Richard Pryor in that role. That show
Yeah.
would fucking rule. And then instead of Keckner, it's Gene Wilder as the crazy neighbor. It would be the fucking best show of all time.
That show would be amazing.
That would be. Did Gene Wilder ever do television shows?
Well, no, because basically throughout the 80s and the early 90s, he was just doing all those movies with Richard Pryor, right? Like they did like 6 or 7. So I mean, they were just like stacked up. Plus, I think sadly, too, towards that point is when Gilda Radner was passing away and he was kind of not doing a ton of stuff. So a TV show is probably a big commitment.
Well, on that fun note.
Now, all 3 of those funny, wonderful people are no longer on this earth, and that's a bummer.
Time. Well, anyways, yeah. As far as like the Awesome Hank joke goes, like,
Well, we can't curse them.
I guess that's true. We cannot curse the dead ones.
I think the whole Awesome Hank joke, like, we probably should have gotten a callback later where we find out what the real nickname was.
Right.
Like, there should have been a slip there, but we don't.
Halitosis Hank.
Oh man, imagine if it came full circle. It was Horny Hank.
Oh.
Horny Hank, a better name for the show.
What about Hand Job Hank?
Oh, weird.
We find out that's why he got kicked off the board. Just kept trying to get everybody a
Just
hand
giving
job.
handies out.
I'm sorry I have a taste for the classics.
Nothing wrong with a good old fashioned.
I mean, to be fair, that's what basically got Louis C.K. fired from his board too, right?
What was that laugh?
He's turned to Ed McMahon.
Giving hand jobs in the boardroom.
Talk about a raise, am I right?
That's going to bring the stock prices up.
Well, anyways, next scene, Hank calls a family meeting in the living room. At this point, the living room's a little more evolved. You know, they're still moving in, but we have a couch in there. There's no longer a stove. We have the whole family, sans Hank, sitting on the couch while he's like standing over, kind of deliberating at them all. And he's talking to them like as if he's treating his family like it's Pryor Corp. He's telling his wife to take some notes. And he's saying, you know, at Pryor Corp, we attack challenges as a team. So now every team needs a leader. Fortunately for us, we have me. And now I'm going to assign each of you a room to unpack. Our goal, climb into our beds this evening so that we may sleep soundly with the satisfaction of a job well done. And then he goes to give Madeline her assignment as to what room she's going to do. And then her phone rings and she runs off. And then he's trying to stop her. And as soon as he's trying to stop her, you have Spencer basically do a backflip off the back of the couch. And then he just runs out of the room.
Imagine being young enough to have the confidence to be like, I can do a backflip. It was a better time.
I was never young enough to do a backflip.
Also, he doesn't do a backflip. He just hops over the couch. There's no backflip.
Not like a back. I see he like flipped over the back of the couch. Not like he didn't like do like a acrobat. Joe, get stumble out of your brain.
Honestly, the show was, I watched it last night too. It's not like I watched it that long ago. I watched it last night. I took extensive, very long notes, and you said that, and I was like, yeah, he backflipped. It's gone. It's already out of my fucking mind.
He did a split. He shook his pom-poms.
He ate so many candy buttons. I have a pack of candy buttons I bought
to enjoy season 2, saving these for fall.
Now I can't eat them. Now they're just a pack of candy buttons. And I don't want to eat them anyway because it tastes like paper and they're terrible. But now they just feel like something I have to put into a time capsule.
Is that what you were waiting on?
Some bowl season 2 to eat them?
No, the package.
Oh, no. The package is a record.
Oh.
Are they gluten-free?
I looked them up. They are. There's basically just sugar.
It's just sugar.
It's just sugar glued to paper. There's like no other fucking flavor. And it's the only ingredient. It's like sugar and like a glucosey thing to make it stick to the paper or something like that. It's like a very small ingredient. And I'm sure like whatever the dye is will kill you.
As long as it's not glutosis.
It's like, oh, we forgot to tell you, yeah, we glutened them to the paper. I'm like, oh no.
And then we spray some wheat adhesive onto the paper.
You say that, but it's like Daryl in the office. He's like, why soy and everything? The other day, my wife was like, ooh, I got some chocolate-covered pistachios. Do you want to try one? And I was like, of course I do. That sounds something interesting. And I eat one, and I was like, chocolate and pistachio. And it's like, of course, like, may contain wheat. And I was like, God damn it. He's like, it's in everything. It's funny you don't think about it because dumb things. You're like, well, nuts. There's like, literally, there's one type of planter's nut that is like certified to be okay to eat. And that kind of nut they make is not one, thank you, Gordo, that you can buy in like a small pack at a store. You have to buy like a big thing at a grocery store. So like I'm on like a work trip or something and I need to eat something. I have to go buy like a tub of nuts to know that it's like safe. And nuts also are terrible for you. It's not a good thing to have to eat.
Yeah, Joe, no one likes to eat nuts.
On the work trips, that's why they call him Tub of Nuts Sutton. Just walking around with a tub of nuts.
That could be both ways. That could be a bathtub, or that could be a box of nut.
I'd swim in a tub of nuts.
All right.
Goo Goo Boys.
It is the first time we've had the whole Goo Goo Boys to assemble in a while.
Correct. That was a Goo Goo
I wanted
joke.
to glance past it. Gordo's last joke landed so flat that like I could feel the air get heavy. It's just so bad.
It could be a tub.
He felt like he was in a rhythm, and he just told such a shitty joke that you're not even sure that it's a joke.
Wow, you guys must love having me back to shit on me.
We just shit on Joe while you were gone. It's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it rolls downhill. Don't worry.
That's okay. I did hear the Captain Crunch joke.
I
That
know
was
you
made.
did. Yeah, I was ripped apart plenty. To be fair, Gordo, too, I think everyone here gets ripped apart pretty consistently. You just say more things that allow it to happen to
You
you.
set yourself up for it. Yeah. Everyone else gets like unintentional, like undeserved shrapnel sometimes.
You guys sound like those abusive fathers. Why do you make me hurt you?
I was just cleaning up some water.
It's a deep cut.
I just want a glass of water. Dude, that shit lives in my brain. That one commercial, it affected all of us that much that here we are at 40. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Still inappropriately laughing at it.
Yeah.
It's that one, the one where the guy says, like, I do cocaine so I can work more, so I can buy more cocaine so I can work more. It's that one and the Bernie and Phil's psychiatrist one where he's like, I had a nightmare, Dr. Phil. There's like the three commercials that are always, those are always in my brain.
So the kids both ran out of the room, and then so meeting's over. Tilly goes to hand Hank her notes after he gave her the notepad to get everything started. And he goes, so this is supposed to be me with my head inside my bottom?
Again, no other actor would have delivered that in a funny way. Only
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer
Yeah.
can say that, and that's funny. Because that's not a good line, but it's very funny when he says it.
I thought the same thing at the same time because even with Kelsey Grammer delivering it, it wasn't that good. You're like, man, like he's trying so hard to just pull this show up a little bit, and he still can't do it.
It makes you realize, though, when we're saying this, that, like, you get him going home that every night and being like, this isn't working. This doesn't have the legs. Like, what am I doing here? Might as well just cut my losses.
Would this show have worked if instead of leaving Seattle, Frasier went to Virginia and this was just the new season of Frasier?
I mean, I like that he's in a smaller market. He's at, like, a small TV show. Keckner is the new bulldog.
Yeah.
So next scene, we see a couple movers like later on in the day bringing a couch in. And the whole thing here is they're like, oh, where do you want the couch to go? And he's like, oh, that should go. And then Tilly steps in. Oh, that's going to go in the family room. It's like, family room? What room's that? It's like, that one. This is the living room. We have a living room and a family room? sounds a little silly. And then he's like, well, I thought that could be my office. And like, I'm kind of thinking like, it's funny because whether or not it was going to be his office or the family room, that couch had to go somewhere, right? And it
Right.
wasn't-
Yeah.
it
You still have to
didn't
put the
match-
couch down. Yeah. And
Yeah.
those are the 2 rooms it's going to fit in.
That's the
so-
room it has to go in. Like it's not going to match the couch that's in the living room presently. So it was going to, even if it was his office, the office is going to have a couch in it.
Did any of you have to look up the difference between a family room and a living room? Because I had to. I had no idea what they were talking about here.
It's just more like a den, right? Like
Yeah.
just having like a little side TV area.
So part of it is geographical, where a living room is always in the front of the house and a family room is always in the back of the house.
Really?
Yeah, and again, I knew none of this until I looked it up. And then part of it is that like the living room is like neat and orderly and like comforting for like guests to be in, and like a family room can be kind of chaos because it's for like kids playing and like watching TV.
That's kind of how I figured out. The family room's more like for use if you have both, than like the living room's
Yeah.
more of like a showroom.
It's like when you have people over your house and you close your bedroom door. Because you're like, no one's gonna go in there anyway, but I don't want to like fold the pile of clothes on my floor. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
want to
Like,
clean.
yeah, so like no one has to look in there, you know?
So yeah, that was the whole argument where he needed a room where he thought he'd be able to like, get away from the family essentially. And now ironically, it will be the room for the family.
Which if he was like, I'm starting a new business and I'm gonna start it from the ground up and I need a workspace, you'd be like, okay, you get an office. Like that makes sense, right? Like you have to like get this family up. You're the one who was working. You're gonna start this thing up. But if he's just gonna like hang out for a while and like get a job outside of the house, then like yeah, he can't just claim an office, right?
Giving hand jobs.
You're really on the hand job thing, huh? You're not letting that go.
You typically don't when you do one.
I'm glad that you don't give up when you're giving hand jobs. Make sure you finish it.
Dude, I came 10 minutes ago. You're just pulling my soft, sticky dick.
Get back
You're
here.
just mashing it.
Also, a better name for this TV show, Soft Sticky Dick. I feel like that would have done great for ABC.
I named it that. I would watch.
On Tuesdays, Kelsey Grammer in Soft Sticky Dick. My son's not Yoda. Soft Sticky Dick.
Tilly.
So while the two are going back and forth about what room that's supposed to be is when we meet Grady, Tilly's brother. That's David Koechner's character. He's walking in the front door with his son Kyle on his shoulders. And they walk in. You get right off the bat, you get like a vibe for like what kind of guy he is. He's going to be the more fun guy, right? Compared to Hank. His son's on his shoulders. He like flips him off. He doesn't give him the finger. He flips him like off of his shoulders onto the ground.
Good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And again, Koechner, I don't think has ever not been good at anything.
He was pretty bad at driving sober for a while.
Oh.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I'd watch anything with champion kind in it.
I've mentioned before, he's great and Justified.
Hank goes to give him a handshake. He's like, put that away. I'm hugging you. And he gives him like a big hug. While they're like exchanging pleasantries is when Henry walks in. And he's like, oh, hi, Uncle Grady. He's like, hey, Henry, put it there. Tall you are. Strong with the forces, this one. So it's not like, I don't think he got it from his uncle, but they're just showing that they're more aligned mentally, I guess.
Maybe he's always been into Star Wars.
Well, I would imagine too that like probably the uncle has seen the family way more than Kelsey Grammer thinks, right? Like the mom would have taken them down to see family. They have money, right? Like it's an hour flight. Like they're probably in Virginia way more often than Kelsey Grammer is.
I don't know because he really doesn't know the cousin.
I think it's just a matter of like, they're just more, he's more like his uncle than he is his father. And they're just kind of demonstrating it that way, where it's such a disconnect when he saw his son talking like Yoda. But either way, this is when Grady's like, oh, Henry, you remember your cousin Kyle, right? Like, why don't you guys like head off and play? So he's like, yeah, come on, Kyle, show you the backyard. I think there's something dead back there. And you just get Hank go, what?
Just recreate
What?
Stand By Me.
Oh,
Oh.
poor Ray Brower.
Grady's like, oh, I wanted to get you something special, like a housewarming. I was going to give you a bottle of champagne, but I was like, whoa, Grady, probably don't want to remind him of the good life right now. And then he hands him like a sixer with one missing. He's like, oh, very thoughtful.
Was it Guinness?
Very Cousin Eddie vibes.
Big time.
No, I think this is just made to look like generic, like beer, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Like, so they don't have to pay anybody any money for it. I don't feel like Koechner is this character. I don't feel like is a Guinness drinker. You know?
Mm.
One thing we're getting from the character too is he probably has been spoken down to by Hank a lot, where Hank's probably always had that like we're better than you vibe. And now he's seeing him have to kind of come down to level. So now Hank's out of work. Grady's doing well, like with his own, he's like a contractor and he has like a business. So now he gets to kind of like, he's like dumping on Hank, but not in a way that comes off like mean, because you feel like it's like almost his turn, right? Like he's been waiting for this moment.
Oh, he's been eating shit for 20 years from this dude, and he is reveling in the fact that he finally gets to be one-upping on.
But the only thing that I could think of, right? Like we all have brothers and sisters, right? Think about that happen. It's still your sister.
Right, but it's your sibling's spouse, though. Like, he's not like that to his sibling. Yeah. He's shitty to the person they married, right? Because the sister wasn't shitty to him, the husband was.
If the situation is shitty is what I'm saying.
If he never saw his family, why would he have seen his in-laws? Maybe he's being like this because he doesn't like the way he treated his sister.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they've been together long enough, right? Like, you look at the oldest daughter, you got to figure she's what, like 16-ish, So, like, you're assuming that this couple's been together for close to 20 years. Odds are, I mean, yeah, there was a point where Pryor Corp got big, they moved to New York, but it wasn't always that way. There was an establishment of life and, incidents over time. Like, they might not be together a lot now, but I think there's probably enough base where they have, like, there's a history there.
Well, no, because you're right. Because in the beginning, they do say, when they're talking about Riverbend, Virginia, they do say, oh, and that's where we met. So Kelsey Grammer must have started those stores there, because that's where he met Tilly.
Oh, but you know what? I said that earlier too, but it could have been that he was there like for the opening of a store, right? Like he
could have, yeah, it could have been something like that.
So okay. I guess we can forgive the accent thing at that point. But I hate having to concede that.
Yeah, they didn't give us enough to know one way or another.
Again, we're writing to make shit make more sense, and it's not.
In fairness, his accent has never made sense.
No, it's because it's not an accent from anywhere. It doesn't make sense. It's not. He's not like if there's 10 people who sound like him. It's him and then his brother on Frasier. But the only two humans who sound like that.
No,
Niles.
I mean not in this century. I mean that wasn't that like the accent of like the 1920s, the transatlantic.
I said mid-Atlantic earlier, which is like the fucking Atlanta. But yeah, it's called like a transatlantic accent. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing that's not like you have to affect that now, right? Like you have to purposely do that.
Yeah.
But he's his real like credit to credit for Kelsey. We've talked about this before. When he falls off that stage, he says, "Oh good lord." He doesn't go, fuck me, right? Like he hurts himself in real time, responds in that accent. So whether it's put on or not, like it's his. It's burned in now.
That would be amazing.
It's like a shitty fucking accent, like fuck.
I broke my fucking leg, kid.
He goes, my fucking thumb.
Traumatic incident.
A self-inflicted traumatic incident, but
Gordo versus a bumper.
No, Gordo versus his own pants.
It's his own zipper. Gordo versus Levi Strauss. Yeah, like did that happen?
They were probably Wranglers at the time. We didn't have money. We weren't buying Levi's. Maybe the Ames, reject Levi's, but not. Like the ones that they make for Kmart or used to make for Kmart.
Levi's. Yeah. Gordo's got some tough skins. I just bought like the fucking Levi's that are the Walmart specific Levi's, and I was like, man, I'm living the dream buying Levi's again.
That's what I mean, and they're not real. And then you go to Sears, and there are different Levi's. Why am I going to department stores in 2026? I don't know.
Hey, look, I think the department store is coming back.
It is not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know about that.
I don't know. Look at that place, Ollie's. That's like taking over. There's like a new store all the time. They're in like half the country now.
Those are like discount stores.
But still, it's a department store. Whether it's discount or not, that's what it is, right? They're a store with a bit of everything, a food department, a housewares department, a toy department.
Anything new booms and then they'll crash.
It'd be great if they sold ox and they called it Ollie Oxen.
That would be great.
I'm pro Gordo on this one. Gordo, I got you.
Thank you.
So anyways, at this point, we're getting some stuff from Grady here where Grady's going on with the whole, oh yeah, I just wanted to drop by. I got one of my crews that's going to be coming out for the kitchen remodel job, so I was just checking things out. He goes, oh, Hank, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up work in front of you. Shoot.
Low blow.
And he's like, oh, it's all right, Grady. I got a few irons in the fire. And then like Hank goes to walk into the kitchen and steps on bubble wrap. It's like, damn it.
I don't know why I laughed really hard at this, but I did. But damn it!
That's what shows he's a psycho, though, because 99% of people, someone hand them bubble wrap, and they're like, ooh. It's such a comforting thing to pop bubble wrap.
Yeah, but he was just embarrassed, and he was trying to leave the room.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, and then like that just like made it silly. And then when he leaves the room, we got a little bit between Grady and his sister, and he's like, hey, Tilly, like, how's things going? Like, I've been worried about you up in that fancy town. It's like, well, it's been a rough 3 months. Well, nothing that can't be fixed with a little family and a whole lot of booze. And then Hank walks back in. Grady saying, listen, Hank, if there's anything I could do for you in this time of need and failure, let me know. I want to be with you in your darkest hour. And he goes, if something tells me it's my darkest hour, you'll be around.
This is funny, too, here, where, like, you do kind of feel bad for him a little bit when he's like, you realize that David Koechner sold them a lemon house so he could reap the benefits of fixing it for them, which is kind of shitty to his sister more than it is to Hank.
He offers them a good family discount.
5%.
Yeah.
Also, that house is nice. I don't care what this show says.
Like, when you shop for anything like online, it's like, oh, 10% off. It's like, you always get 10% off if you buy anything online, you put it in, you're like, oh, why do I always forget that this does nothing? 10% off sounds like so much.
Talking about Massachusetts again for a minute, with it, like, for most of our lives, the sales tax in Massachusetts was 5%, and they'd be like, it's tax-free weekend, which means basically everything is quote-unquote 5% off. But then there was a cap too, where you're like, so if you buy something for $100, it's $95. Like, it's such a fucking funny marketing ploy to be like, we should go buy a bed, but like 5% is such a minimal discount that places usually have sales that are way more than that on a regular basis. But people would like rush out to stores and be like, it's don't sales tax weekend.
If you're going to buy some big ticket items anyways coming up, like, oh, we need a new TV or we need a new stove that's not in the living room.
Yeah, but they'd always cap it, is why I'm making fun of it. Because they always feel like anything under $1,000, right? And like, granted, 5% of $1,000 is a lot of money. Everything is expensive and shitty now. I just think it's funny because like if you waited another week, the discount from that store would probably be more than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you could go to New Hampshire if you're from Massachusetts and get it tax.
I can't believe IKEA has not built a fucking store in New Hampshire. People drive for like hours away to go to the one in Massachusetts. You're like, why wouldn't you just build one in like Nashua or Plymouth or Portsmouth rather, where there's no sales tax? It's so fucking stupid because the one in Massachusetts is like in the middle of fucking nowhere. You drive for like an hour. There's nothing there to do.
I have never set foot in a single IKEA.
I love IKEA.
They're great. It's super fun. It's like you can kill a whole day there, even if you don't buy anything. It's just like an interesting place with stuff to do. But like
lunch, honestly, not that bad from their cafeteria.
No. I had a panic attack when I was in there, though.
Did you lay on one of the beds?
No, we were just walking around. I was just like stressed out and like I just like felt like the walls closing in on me. I was like, I just like power walked the rest of the way to like the cafeteria and like sat down and like I was like, I need to eat meatballs about this. And then I felt better.
Like I need to eat like a cold buffalo chicken sandwich that's somehow really delicious right now. Like,
yeah, I don't know. There was just like it was too busy. Like it was like a Saturday. Like
no, you can't go there on a weekend. Yeah, dude, that shit drives me nuts because I have really bad panic attacks, and the only thing that makes you feel better in those scenarios is to like get away from people and to like cool down. So, like in the winter, you're like take your jacket off, like take a layer off. So like when you have one in the summer and you're in like Target and you're freaking out, and you're
can't
like,
do anything.
I can't
about
take
it.
anything off. I'm fucking dead now.
Water.
Joe's just walking around IKEA in his underwear.
Hey, Sweden's a much freer society, man. Okay, they allow that shit.
Listen, I know when I'm in IKEA and I have panic attacks, usually because I shit in the toilets.
Where else are you supposed to shit?
Shit's on a mattress.
Gordon's just in the bathroom like, what's happening?
This isn't where I normally poop.
There was such an obvious, like, I mentioned Joe walking around the store in his underwear, thinking like, oh, I just teed up Gordo to make a Swedish meatball joke. Instead, he just goes, I shit in the toilets.
Gordo's got some ring rust.
I do, yeah. I got to shake it off.
Is it the first Jackass movie where he walks into the store and just shits into the...
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
I
in
think
the
it is,
toilet
yeah.
stall, yeah.
Gordo, next time you take a month off, I think you need to listen to an episode and like pretend you're in the conversation to get your batting speed up.
Make you cue cards so your wife can like quiz you and like get you into like fighting shape.
If you now, if what? Okay,
There you go. Yeah.
See, this is the
What's
problem.
wrong?
This is the problem.
Hey, dude.
I like the idea that for the past month, Gordo hasn't spoken one word to any human. He's just jumping back in with us.
I'm watching him try to think of a sentence right now. All right. Well, anyways, so Maddie walks back downstairs from earlier when she had run up during the meeting. Hank's like, "Oh, there you are. No running out on a family meeting." She's like, "I'm on the phone. Oh, hi, Uncle Grady. I'll be right back," and hangs up the phone. And then they start catching up. He's asking her how she's doing. She's like, "Oh, just talking to my boyfriend. He's back in New York." He's like, "Oh, long distance relationships. That's a toughie." "Yeah, it is. Thanks for noticing, Uncle Grady."
That's like the perfect amount of like uncle to teenage niece conversation, though. Like I find like as we get older too, like you have those things. You're like you learn. You're like you just say like, "How you doing? What's going on?" "Oh man, that stinks. Good to see you." Like you can't have a conversation with a kid. You can for like a certain time, and then you can't, and then you can again.
No, you're the fun uncle. Or the funkle. Right, Gordo?
yeah.
Well, the thing is, yeah, it's like, Joe, you and Ferg have kids, but we're all uncles. And you get to a point where, like, you ride that line, right? You're still one of the adults. If you catch something, you got to say, "Hey, don't do that." But also, like, there's an element of, like, but you're kind of the friend in the bunch, too, you know?
You are an element of chaos a little bit too. You're like, "We can go get ice cream right now if you want, though."
So
right?
you
Yeah.
got to be the one that they'll also come to and relate to. So, yeah, it's kind of riding that line.
Yeah, I remember like I have a niece who's just about preteen-ish age, and last year we like just randomly were like, "Do you want to come back with us until like everyone comes over?" It's like, "Yeah." And like we're driving home, I was like, "Do you want to stop for ice cream?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever done." You know, like you win so hard at that one moment, but you have to take those moments because you don't always get those. You know,
Right.
Joe's like, "But you gotta drive."
I drove. Thank you very much. There was a licensed driver in the car, so I was able to drive everyone to the ice cream. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you could have eaten the ice cream with your dumb stomach.
Oh no, not a waffle cone.
I actually did go for ice cream on Mother's Day because there is a place that has gluten-free ice cream, and it was lovely. Thank you very much. Until the next day, and then I felt terrible. Nothing to do with gluten, just old and dairy.
I'll save any further questions for later because I feel like we're slowly just turning into a gluten podcast at times. But
Look, there's money there.
yeah,
Goo goo gluten boys.
we'll do a side one, see how it works. During this situation, Hank tries to step in. He's like, "I got this." He's like, "So, Moody, Maddie." And she's like, "Wait, did you just call me Moody?" Like, "No, so I think you did. Moody Maddie? Is that what you call me behind my back?" "No, that's just what your mother." "No."
His no here is very
When
funny.
he catches himself that he just threw his wife under the bus, like,
There's some weird universal rule where if you get caught doing something and you say no in a long form way, it will always be funny. There's like a weird math equation to like unfunny show saying no the long way, much like eating corn, that you will always laugh.
Grady is like, "Oh, Hank, it's so good to have you back." She's like, now she's getting extra moody now. She's like, "Oh, so you think I'm moody? You don't like all my moods?" Like, "No, honey, I love all your moods." "Oh, so you think I have moods? Everyone has moods. Fine, you know what? I'm going to have one mood from now on. Then you can't call me moody anymore. This is my only mood." And like, she exits.
And that's kind of it for her for the rest of the episode, right? She comes in for like the one tiny scene at the end in the bed, but like they don't give the kids a ton to do in this.
Because they're not good actors.
That is true.
See, I would disagree because I think they've both been in and done a lot of stuff since then. I mean, like,
Well, I guess they learned after this show because they're not good actors.
I don't think it was that bad. I really don't.
I don't think it's that bad. Like, I think the show is bad. The actors aren't. I think this is just like, you know, like when you watch an 80s movie and they're like,
Yeah, I guess it's more about the dialogue.
In this case, yeah, you're having her going like a freaky tangent about being moody. Like, there's only so much you could do with that, right? She's going to play it like over the top because she's being moody.
this is like, again, in movies in the 80s, and it was like, you're in a grocery store and you see like potato chips, beer, salsa or everything's like generic label. Like this feels like that, where it's just like, this is sitcom. Like you can plug some funny people into it and like try to tweak it, but like they just stuck way too much to a formula for this to make it like the cream can't rise in it. You'll get a few funny Kelsey Grammer jokes. Everyone else is kind of drowning. Like the mom is not a bad actor, but she's barely in this and barely gets a chance to do anything. Even Keckner, the funniest thing Keckner gets to do, who is a hilarious person, is shove his foot through the fucking ceiling at one point. We're like, that's not fair to the good cast, you know?
Tilly's going like, I can't believe you called her moody and then pointed the finger right at me. Like, Hank, is this your idea of Team Pryor?
You see? It's so hard not to do. Start doing like a fucking Pryor doing Cosby.
And as he's saying all this stuff, two movers like head in with the mattress, and he tries to like sneak behind the mattress and walk along with them. So when they walk past, he was gone, which like I thought was funny because you see him like sneaking, and
I thought that was good.
I thought that was a funny bit.
Slightly aside here, do any of you have a king size mattress?
No,
No,
I have a
no.
queen.
I couldn't get this queen size into the bedroom.
It's hard.
It took a lot to get this mattress to where it is right now. There's no chance I could fit a king.
Here's the thing. I understand, like, if you have a smaller room, you can't physically get the mattress into your room in a way that makes sense. But in this point, they're trying to get the mattress up the steps. Like, hey, can't do it.
Push it down.
It's like, what? You could clearly get this mattress up these steps.
No, they didn't even need to push it down. There was a ton of room, and they were
Yeah.
just acting like there wasn't.
Yeah,
This is just geometry.
That was the thing. Like, I get that this is all a build up for the joke, but unfortunately, the set will not create that visual that will make this part of the episode make sense. So you can't tell me these movers can't get this mattress up the stairs when they're already halfway up the stairs, and I could see there's plenty of room.
Also, I know a lot of people who've done moving as a job. It's a fucking tough job also. But I've asked
No
about that
shit.
before, and they're like, oh yeah, you'll make it work. You will push things. You will find a way, because like your whole goal is to leave that day as fast as possible. Like there are tricks. You tie it with rope. You make it into like a fucking tortilla, like it's a taco, and you move it up the stairs, and then you're not there when it kinks later. You know what I mean? Like you're done with that part of it.
You know what I think's funny now is you see those videos of people who get like the mattresses that you like cut out of the bag, and they do it the wrong way, and it just completely fucking tidal waves over them.
Oh,
I'm like,
yes.
That legitimately happened to me. I brought my mother's mattress in for her, and I cut it, and I didn't go flying, but it hit me in the stomach so hard, it was like someone fucking punched me.
They give you very specific instructions. We did it, and I was like, I'm usually like the idiot who doesn't follow any instructions, just tries to like cut everything open, and I was afraid of that. And if you do it the right way, it does work.
Well, I didn't do it the right way.
You did not do it the right way. I mean, typically, I imagine most people don't, right? You just cut it open because you're like, what? It's going to slowly open up or whatever.
now that it's been decided that this mattress can't get up the stairs, Grady's like, oh, I'm going to have to widen those steps for you so you can get it up there. Like, oh, today's like, no. He's like, but you know what? I'll loan you Kyle's old fire truck bed for tonight. And he's like, I guess we'll take this old king-size jobber off your hands. Like, let's go, boys.
I would have slept in the yard on it before I let him take my mattress.
yeah, I thought the same thing. Fuck you. Leave the mattress on the floor.
You know what else they could have done? They could have put it in the family room instead, made that their bedroom, and then made the family room upstairs.
Yeah.
The fact that on top of it, he's like, oh, come on, Kyle, let's hit the road. I just found your mom an anniversary present. Like, it's weird because it's one of those, you mentioned Cousin Eddie earlier. It's like, in one aspect, he's doing well. He has a contracting business. Like, he's making money. It's like, but also he's going to take his sister's used mattress and use that as his like new mattress at home and his wife's anniversary gift.
Honey, happy anniversary. Kelsey Grammer was pegged on this mattress. Do you want to go to bed on it now? Like, what are we doing?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with furniture.
Mattresses are where I draw the line, though.
I mean, I've definitely had other people's mattresses before, or to be fair, futon pads at like apartments,
If you can sleep on a hotel mattress, you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's somebody else's. I mean, I literally just spent a few nights last week in a hotel room where I was like, nobody has done anything good in this hotel of this crazy town, right? There's like nothing good that happened here. You just have to hope there's no bed bugs and no like anything that seeps through it, right? That's just, hotels are kind of weird. It's a weird scenario. You just like go into it, you just close your blinders. You're just like, fuck it, it's clean, we're good.
So now Hank's kind of freaking out. It's like, don't worry, honey, it's just a mattress. Like, it's not just a mattress, Tilly, it's everything. I don't get an office, my children don't listen to me, and now I can't climb into bed and sleep with the satisfaction of a job well done because the job is not done and I have no bed.
This too, like, everyone's moved into an apartment before and been like, well, we're sleeping on the couch, or like the bed's in the living room, right? Like, this is where the TV is, there's no internet yet, so we'll just like, why would they just not put it in the other room? Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, like, just put it somewhere and sleep on it on the floor. You get the kids around and be like, we're watching movies, it's a camp out. Like, this, everything he does is wrong in this scenario.
It's one of those, like, I get he's not used to being home. I get he's not used to being with the family. But he was a guy who successfully started a giant corporation, right? You should be used to, like, problem solving and facing adversity. And, like, he doesn't seem to have that attached to him. He's just so, like, can't pivot. And, like, yeah, I get his real life he's not used to. But, like, you still, like, made it to a point in life by working and doing all this stuff. Like, you should be somewhat aware of how to just be able to create something out of nothing sometimes.
Yeah, he also wasn't born rich.
Right.
He'd have a taste of normal life and know what he was doing.
That is a great fucking point. Yeah, he should be able to call back on his whole life pre-making all this money and be like, this is what we did. We ate fucking hot dogs and mac and cheese the night we moved in because we didn't have our stuff unpacked.
Are you trying to get Ferg turned on? What are you doing right now?
Too late. Gordo, I need a hand job.
This is why we didn't record in person. It would just turn into an orgy every time.
So we cut to, like, later that night, and the two are asleep in the fire engine bed. And Hank's like, you're breathing on me. What? Your breath, it's all over me. Well, this is how I sleep, Hank. Well, this is how I sleep. And then he's like, you know what? Fine. And he flips to his side, and he's just, like, purposely sticking his ass out to, like, get in her way. It's like, well, now you're doing this on purpose. She's like, I know you're purposely sticking your butt into my stomach. It doesn't bother me. He's like, good. I'm glad it doesn't bother you because that's how it's going to be all night. Like, good. He's like, yeah, good. You like that? And he's just, like, rubbing his butt all over her. Because it's Kelsey Grammer, I think is very funny. It gets to the point where he's like, you like it, huh? You like that? And she goes, yes. What? It's like, I like it. And then it turns into, like, television hooking up, which is just like, they're not making out, they're just, like, rubbing their hands all over each other passionately.
This is so stupid.
It's like a weird, like, open mouth kissing with no tongue and, like, rubbing thighs.
They want to emulate in the most PG way possible, you guys are having sex. And it's just like, I guess we'll just rub each other's arms and stuff like that.
Can you imagine getting so horned up because Kelsey Grammer was rubbing his butt all over you?
Oh, you like that, huh?
Like, I love the idea. Like, this is, again, we are a no kink shame podcast, but I will shame that kink a little bit. It's like, that's your thing? Okay.
The Tom Green, as I like to call it, as I just named it, as I just thought of it.
Oh, because your bum is on your wife. I get it.
Yes, okay. I'll give it to you.
Your bum is on the transatlantic.
Now that they're in the throes of television passion, they're like, oh, it's like we're poor now, and all we have is our bodies. And they're apologizing to each other. I'm so sorry about today. I know, I'm sorry too. It was stressful. Oh, honey, you can have that room for your office. Oh, God, thanks, Till. Probably for the best. That way I can get away. Get away from what? And now mood's killed, right?
Forced.
For her, though. So her mood is killed. He doesn't know that yet. So he's still passionately trying to, like, make things work.
He has shot himself right in the dick at this point.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I mean, like, I'm in your way, you know? I'm in the kids' way. So, and then in the meantime, he's like, do the PJs have, like, a drawstring or something? And she's just, like, standing cold while he's still, like, trying to, like, undo her pajamas. And he's like, good news, I got it. And he rings the fire engine bed, the bell on the top.
Chin, bad move. Sex in the house with kids.
That's what I thought was funny. When they first start to hook up, the bell rings, and then here he, like, celebrates undoing whatever part of her pajamas he was trying to undo by hitting the bell again. I'm like, you have two kids that are, like, in the next rooms over. Like, you can't be ringing a bell like this.
And again, that wouldn't be an issue if they made the family room the bedroom.
Yeah, but also it's weird. We talked about, like, it's weird that, like, Keckner takes the sister's bed to have sex on later. I feel it's weirder to be like, now you're fucking on your nephew's fire truck bed? Like, I don't know. If you bought a fire truck bed, if it was not related to you, less weird to me than being like, we're having sex in a kid's bed and it's a kid that's our family.
Nah, man, chicks dig firemen.
No, it's only acceptable when it's a race car.
Van Houten rules.
Yeah.
You eat 2 spaghetti meals, sex in a race car.
I didn't know which way you were gonna go. If you were gonna go Simpsons or Grandma's Boy.
No, Simpsons.
Both weirdly equally funny. Why is Grandma's Boy so much funnier than it has any right to be?
The perfect movie.
It's weirdly fucking perfect, yeah.
Now it's like, now they're having a discussion, and she's like, one day with us and you're ready to climb out the window. Admit it. And he's like, well, here's the thing. He's like, it's just, you're really good with the kids, and I'm not, and I feel like I've been intruding all day. So yeah, I think it'd be better if I got myself in my office/study and focused on the business/money side of things. And she jumps out of bed. She's like, hey, I didn't love having you around today either, but I'm not doing this on my own. I can't. I know it might seem like it, but I'm freaking out here. Like, I get that. And you're not backing out on me. I'm used to having help. I've always had Consuela. Well, guess what? You're Consuela now, buddy.
I did laugh at that line.
One thing I had a little bit of an issue with was trying to gauge her character, because in the beginning, it felt like more like she was on his page of, like, in the moving scene. Like, she needed to be, like, almost consoled, like, we're moving, we're going to be fish out of water. And here she's, like, already down to earth and, like, kind of, she's regular, and now he's still stuck with Rich Brain.
Again, if we go back to Schitt's Creek, I think there's a lot of reasons why that show's better, but I feel like they did such a great job in the beginning of, like, one starts to slowly accept their new life, and the other always fights against it. But one still slowly accepts it, even in the first episode. So you feel like you relate to the people enough to be like, I want to see where this goes. Whereas in this one, you're like, I'm kind of confused as to where both of them are gonna end up. It just kind of, they flip-flop on, like, is this our new life? Or we used to be like this?
He jumps out of bed to, like, because she's out of bed, so now he's going to continue this conversation also standing. And as soon as he gets out of bed, he once again steps in bubble wrap. And it made me think of, remember that episode of The Office where Andy kept stepping in shit at Dwight's farm?
Yeah.
Also, similarly, the episode of The Office where Jim keeps biting his lip.
I always think about that, yeah.
They're continuing to argue, and a second later, Henry walks in. Mommy? Not now, Henry. I mean, hello, come in. What can I do for you, my son? He's like, I can't sleep. I'm pretty sure there's a ghost in my room.
It's too old for that.
How old would you peg the kid? I mean,
I would say he's around 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10.
Yeah, 9, 10.
That's not crazy then to, like, be I mean, like,
You're too old to be afraid of ghosts in your room.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I was like 17. Still had ghosts in my room.
I mean, like, as somebody who believes in ghosts, I'm like, ooh. Sometimes I hear noises and I'm like, the alarm's on. What was that? Someone in the house?
Your house settling.
Ghosts aren't real.
Yeah,
I have, like, my niece is 9, and I wouldn't be shocked if she was afraid of a ghost in her room at this age. Like, I wouldn't be, if she ran into, like, the other room and said, like, I think there's a ghost in her, I wouldn't be like.
She just gets up and runs out of the house.
Also, Nick, drunken opinion, callback, very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it was funny that he's like, and I think a ghost rang a bell or something too, so.
That's a funny line. I will say, though, I did have a bit of an understanding here I didn't expect to have, where when Kelsey's saying, like, he doesn't know what to do because when he's there, it, like, throws a fucking wrench in the gears, right? Like, I definitely get that as a person who works all the time, who has a young kid, right? And, like, my wife stays with the kid all the time, right? Like, she stays at home, doesn't work. So, like, when I'm here on a random day, like the weekends, those are set. But if it's like, hey, daddy's got Tuesday off, the entire day, I feel like I'm just fucking everything up because there's, like, a system and they've got stuff planned. And I'm just like, hey, what are we doing? Right? It's just like, oh, you're not supposed to be here right now and you're making everything bad. So to have that be then every day for Kelsey Grammer, I do understand a bit of him being like, this is tough to figure out.
So I guess there's a difference, though, between, like, if you have, like, a one-off day like that where your schedule is different and it's kind of upsetting the routine. But the thing is now, they're all rediscovering a new routine, right? This wasn't their lives either.
Yeah.
So this is new for everyone, and he doesn't have, like, a set place to be every day. So, like, his way around it is, I'm just going to hide, like, which is, it's a little different. But yeah, I can understand him feeling like he's in the way, but he also has to acknowledge that life is different now, and he has to, like, acclimate himself to being part of this family.
I feel like in a previous generation, that's why everyone smoked. It was like, I'll be outside for 5 minutes. Like, you always had that excuse to just be like, I'm going to extricate myself from this scenario for 5 minutes.
They didn't go outside.
Well, the other room, their own room, whatever, yeah.
Oh, they just smoked in the nursery.
Yeah, our generation was the smoke outside, still smoked, but smoked outside generation.
Now we cut to Henry's room. He's in bed, Hank's standing beside it, and he's trying to talk to him, but he doesn't really know what to say. He's just kind of rambling on until Maddie walks in. And she's like, Henry, you okay? Oh, your brother couldn't sleep, so him and I are talking to each other? Oh, well, when Henry freaks himself out, usually I just sit in here and we hang out. How does that go exactly? Well, I sit in the bed, so then Hank sits down, but he's facing Maddie. It's like, no, facing him. He's like, oh, right. So he like spins around. And she goes, and then I would like sing to him. Sing to him, really? And then like you see like Maddie like mouthing to her brother, like gesturing, like just go with it.
I thought she was like throwing a punch, like threatening him.
No, they're pranking him.
Yeah, they're trying to fuck with him to make him.
Why would she mimic? Yeah, that would make any sense.
I mean, from what he said, he's wrong, but I can see her threatening him to like shut up, go with it.
Yeah.
But
No, she's telling her brother, like, play along here. So he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I don't know what to sing. He's like, it's the singing, not the song. So Hank looks over at his son, and then he just starts singing. Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
Would have been the crowd would have popped so fucking hard, yeah.
That would have been better, yeah.
Or even the Cheers song, too. Where everybody knows your name. Like, I think it's a cheap pop, but, like, the pop would have worked.
But instead, he starts singing the Star Spangled Banner.
A historically hard song to sing, also. He picks a song that, like, 99% of people can't accurately sing well.
The kids start laughing. He's like, oh, yeah, it's very funny. Haha. Like, you're both awful, awful children. And then till he walks in, she's like, what's going on? You have given me awful children.
That's my favorite line of the entire episode. His just spitting that out at his wife is so fucking funny.
They're letting their mom know, oh, I just got dad to sing the Star Spangled Banner. It's like, oh, well, I'm glad to be the family clown. If this was Pryor Corporation, oh, Hank, this is Pryor Corporation now. And then, like, fine, I'm putting the boy to bed. I'm going to finish the job. You two will excuse me, and the girls leave. And as they're leaving, it's like, oh, by the way, Hank, just so you know, Henry is potty trained. And he's like, oh, delightful. And then right before he closes the door, he goes, oh, and Madeline, your mother didn't vote for Obama. And then she just looks at her mom, and like the mom almost goes to run off, and she like starts chasing her.
The mom's face is pretty great here, yeah.
I thought that was a good little like, oh, you think you know your mom, huh?
That was funny.
So now they shut the door, and he's like, just so you know, the singing thing was Maddie's idea. She makes me do stuff. Yeah, women are good at that. Why do you think we had a second house? Meaning, I wanted to have a boy. So that's how you came about. Like, here you go. I'll see you in the morning. So I guess when he's like, you know what? I'll finish the job. What he meant by that is I'll flip a sheet on him and then walk out of the room immediately.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I'll finish the job. He's like, I'll see you later. It was so dumb.
You're tucked in now, buddy. Have a good one.
Pillow on face.
Yeah. Ooh. Owen!
He's about to walk out of the room, and then Henry's like, Dad, can I leave my light on tonight? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like he has to make a parenting decision, and he's like frozen. He's like, I don't know. And the kid's like, this room's just different. Like everything's different. And that's when Hank's like, it's a little scary having everything change, isn't it? Having to start over. Like I'm scared too. How about that? Even at my age. Like, wow, and you're old. I'm not old, but I'm not 25. You're not 25 times 2. Yeah, okay, I know how old I am. And then he's like, you know, if you'd like, I could lay down with you for a little while. So now Hank gets in bed with his son. Like, just when I thought they couldn't make a smaller bed. And he's like, good night, Henry. He's like, good night, Dad. And then a second later, Dad? Yeah? You're breathing on me.
I think that's a funny callback, to be honest.
Yeah, that was good.
I can't even imagine, though, like, when we find out what happens to Kelsey here, as somebody who's been going to the chiropractor, whose back is just a fucking mess, the idea of sleeping in this bed, like, haunts me.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you figure, like, what size bed would that have been? Because it looks like him and his wife were in a twin, probably.
No, I think it's smaller than a twin. It's like a kid-sized bed, which is
like what's even, I didn't even know there was smaller than a twin.
Well, there's toddler beds, but that's not a toddler bed.
No, it's definitely smaller than a twin, though. I forget what it's called. My wife and I stayed in one together one night. We're up here. We actually came up to see Dawkin and Warrant. It was an amazing night. And we stayed with family And we stayed in like an old bed that was our nephew's, who was like got into a bigger bed. And there was the two of us in one of these size beds. And it was amazing because we woke up in the morning and we were like fucking pretzels. I was like, I've never felt so old in my entire life. Like we only fell asleep because the sweet rhythms of Dakin had given us the ability to sleep in that bed that night. But we were hurting for sure that morning.
You're such a dream warrior.
You just said it way better than Don Dakin said it through the entire song. Boy, did he half-ass that one song. I just wanted him to sing that and Breaking the Chains well, and he didn't either.
You know, that kills me sometimes. You go to see a band and like, some bands are just past their prime. It just happens. But sometimes like, can you at least put a little extra effort on a couple specific songs, like where people...
Right, like I just want to hear this one well, man.
Yeah, this is the one everyone's here for. Can you just try a little harder on this one?
Well, he hates that song.
Oh, I'm sure he does. But like, you know what?
Because they wrote all their own music, but the movie company gave him that song.
Yeah, like you have to do this song, yeah. And like, I understand that. And to whatever degree, I'm a musician too. I wouldn't want that scenario done for me. But like that song probably bought him a house and a boat. You know what I mean? Like, so at that point, 40 years later, just like play it for the fans who were there to see it,
Yeah. Like Ace Frehley, he sucked.
Fuck you. You have to say you did not enjoy him live. You can't just say Ace Frehley sucked, R.I.P.
He did, and...
Don't speak ill of the dead.
No, like, I can, and I'm glad I cursed him, but...
Who lives on these wonderful Saccharine Trist Records tote bags.
Oh, did you say something about your long, hard-to-say name record label's tote bags?
Yes. And guess what? The name is also a joke that references another band, which makes it impossible to search the record label because it automatically pulls up the band it's a joke from. So if you'd like a tote bag...
That's why we're named S1E1.
Yeah, we're trying to get accidental Google searches.
Yeah.
I've made a career out of just making things hard to find online. Like, oh, what's a band? White Pages. Like, oh, well, that's pretty easy to search.
Not to be confused with our original name, The Pilot Podcast. I'll assume whoever recommended it doesn't listen. So yeah, we could say that was one critique we got online was, why don't you just call your podcast The Pilot Podcast? It's like, oh, real fucking clever.
Because we're not pilots.
If we were called that, there was a lot of jokes I've made over the course of the show that I would not have felt comfortable making.
So in any event, the next morning we see Hank walking into his bedroom, holding his back after spending the night in Henry's room. And yeah, he's looking like he's in a good amount of pain until he goes, awful, sweet, awesome Hank.
This is where I would have liked a Full House. Aww.
As well, staying in that bed with him is terrible parenting. You're not fixing the problem. Now you're stuck doing that every night, or he's going to come in and say, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And you're stuck in that bed.
I have that problem with Martha. She just comes to my bed every night.
I was legitimately going to have like an honest, earnest conversation about like how my daughter has been in our bed and never not been, and I had to stop because you've talked about your fucking dog.
I think it's a tricky line. I mean, I think there's room for one-offs under certain... First night in the new house, kid's a little scared. I think you can get away with that, but you have to make it known like this can't be a routine. Like the next day, you have to cut it off. You can't do it again the next day.
The hard cutoff, man. They're comfortable. They're happy. You end up just melting into like this is what sleep is.
No, he has to turn the lamp on. You let him turn the lamp on, and then the next day you get him a nightlight. Boom. Parented.
You're like a parent Yoda.
Sleep you must.
Back hurts, I have.
So Hank's like slowly walking over to his bed, holding the bag. He's like, I just need to lay down for a few hours, maybe some minor back surgery. And then he's saying, I was thinking last night, back in New York with all that money and the nannies and staff, we isolated ourselves from everyday struggles and challenges of real life. Like, how great was that? This is harder than I thought.
You saying that made me think of just how much better the show would be if this was a nanny spinoff. I was like, oh, Mr. Hank, I guess we're living in Virginia now.
She's like, hey, you're Hank Pryor, damn it. At least we got each other and a 5-pack of beer. And the two kiss, and like, right as they start to kiss, we hear a hammer somewhere. It's like, what the hell is that? Oh, Grady started making some improvements. Oh yeah, this is much better. And then we just see his foot go through the roof, and you hear Grady yelling, I'm okay. Oh, so Mr. Family decided to work instead of spending time with his son. Then you see Kyle's foot go through the room next.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll put it on the list. I'll say also the argument like, oh, look at your brother fixing our house instead of spending time with his family. Like, well, when do you want him to do it?
Yeah, like work is still work, yeah.
Technically, that is his family.
And also, what a bad roof. If you're able to fall through the shingles,
I thought he was in the attic.
Were they on the roof or were they in the attic? I thought they were in the attic.
Oh, or in the attic? That makes more sense. Okay, I was gonna say, because like you have a lot of layers to fall through in a roof, you know what I mean?
Hey, Tim Allen did it.
That's true. Often.
And you know what? Because he didn't, I'll bring it up, because this would have been the time. Joe, congratulations. After a solid month, this is the first time you didn't bring up Chevy Chase crying in the attic.
I know.
Watching old Christmas movies.
And this is when he does fall through. You were perfectly set up.
The one time it made the most sense, you didn't take it after doing it nonstop every week for months.
I'm growing.
But yeah, that was the close of the episode. This actually, by the way, was like a 23-minute episode. We got like an extra minute or so and a short intro. So that, not that it was like chock full of more content, but it was a little longer than your standard.
I will say this as I do my notes, right? I often think of like how often I have to pause. What should we do last week? We did the one about was it Dougie Doug last week?
No, we did the Goldbergs last week.
But that one too, right? That's a lot of pausing to like write down certain things or like things you're seeing or quotes, whatever. This is one that like went slow enough that I like never paused it once. I was like able to like write quotes and like write what's happening, and it never stopped. So like for 23 minutes, I didn't get mad at it because I was like, well, it was just a solid 23. It wasn't 45 because of pausing. Because there wasn't much to this. This was all on the screen.
Yeah, this is very, very boilerplate sitcom.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
The hand jobs of sitcoms, if you will.
All right. Yeah. But that's how the episode closed. And yeah, like I said, there's not a lot other than that as far as this episode goes to talk about. Like, we only end up with 4 more that make it to television in its initial run. And whether or not Kelsey Grammer actually pulled the plug or not, or who knows. But yeah, this was a show that, again, the timing of kind of a classic sitcom when multicams were kind of going by the wayside a little bit. And then also the factor of having, the out of place CEO who's not a very sympathetic character. Maybe the timing was just pretty terrible for this one. I know I'm not really on the same page as you guys as much as this one, watching it along, but with that in mind, I don't think there's a lot of extra things to say on this one, and we've gone long enough, so might as well just jump right into the green light or cancel. And Gordo, first green light or cancel in a little while, so I'll start with you.
I'm gonna say green light. This was normal run-of-the-mill sitcom. It was good enough. It's a good enough background sitcom. You're not gonna like tune in every week, but if this was on syndication, had like 100 shows, I'd keep it on in the background back in the day. So yeah, why not? It's got Kelsey Grammer, got David Koechner. It's funny enough. I want to see a second episode. So green light.
Nick.
Cancel. I don't hate the show, but there's not enough substance. There's not enough corn on this cob, if you will. It's just Kelsey Grammer is great, obviously. I mean, you know what you're getting with Kelsey Grammer, and that's what you're getting with him in this too. But it's just everything surrounding him is just not interesting enough. I was just a little bored. I definitely clock watched at a certain point. I don't love the rest of the cast, and it's just not enough there. I don't have a ton to say about it. Like, Kelsey Grammer, good, show bad. It's a cancel.
Ferg.
Cancel. Schitt's Creek is proof that this plot can work, but this wasn't executed well. I also liked Kelsey Grammer, didn't like the rest of the family. I thought this show was boring. I clock watched the whole time. I had paused it a few times and walked away. It just did not do it for me. The writing was bad. There's too many holes. They need to tell us a little more about why they're poor now. They didn't give us enough. And a few jokes that hit were really funny, but there weren't enough jokes that hit. So it's a cancel from me. It's not the worst show we've ever covered, but I didn't like it. Cancel.
Joe.
Yeah, I have agreements with pretty much everything everybody said, but it's a cancel for sure. This is a plain sitcom, right? We're like you've got 3 hours, just like try to break your brain for a little bit, not think of where you are. What's funny is I thought of the last time I had to move and we were like, well, we don't have internet, whatever. Like we have to watch something. We watched Roseanne, right? And watching Roseanne was hard to do things in a new house because you're like, Roseanne's so good. You're like sucked back into it, even though you've seen it 1,000 times. Whereas this show might be the perfect just moving into a new house show because it can just be on in the background and you're just doing stuff that you need to do. And like you'll get an occasional Kelsey Grammer or Keckner joke and laugh, but you're never going to go back to this on purpose. I think Ferg made a good point. Like the premise makes sense to be funny, but you need more to it. And Schitt's Creek obviously ate its lunch when it came to that. The worst thing in the world. I wish it was streaming. Again, I never understand why shows like this aren't streaming, where it's like major people are in this and you did 10 episodes of it. Why am I watching this on Daily Motion? But it's a cancel. It wasn't great. A couple moments, but yeah, no good.
Well, I definitely think I was tipping my hand pretty early, but this is a green light for me. Do I think this is the funniest show I've ever seen? No. But the reason I picked this show to begin with was it was like, oh, Kelsey Grammer. I'm going to laugh. And I did. And I think he was great in it. Yeah, I think there were a lot of holes. I think they needed to give us way more exposition early on to make this show make sense. And then I think there was a lot of holes along the way. But Kelsey Grammer in this show, just being him, was enough for me. And I know that there should be more to it, but honestly, it was enough. And I love a classic multicam sitcom with, that's not too complicated, an easy watch, get your laughs. And that's what this show is. And it also does it without being to the point where a lot of, some of the ones you see now are like not realistic enough. This is like believable. You know what I mean? This is like, this could plausibly happen. Yeah, it's a green light for me. Not the best show we've ever covered, but I liked it. With that in mind, that's not enough. Unfortunately, that's only 2 out of 5. So I'm sorry to Hank. We collectively agree with Kelsey Grammer in thinking this show needed to end. So I want to thank everybody for listening. S1E1pod.com is where you can find all our links to stuff. S1E1pod is our social medias. So hit us up. Let us know shows you want us to cover. We always put clips and stuff on our social media, so you can hit us there, check out all that stuff. But without keeping you much longer, I want to thank you guys again for listening. Catch you next week with another new episode. So until then, thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best Gordo hand job. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. If you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, please seek medical attention.
Please seek Kelsey Grammer.